What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting Anchor on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download Anchor, the app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I'm a veteran, so let's hear some more military cadences. What's up, family? So here we are again, back like I never left. Like I never had an off day. So let's do some football, the divisional rounds. You got the Eagles are advancing. They took out the Giants 38-7. The Bengals are advancing. They took out the Bills 27-10. The Cowboys are advancing and they took out the Niners. So the 49ers, the final score in that was 19-12. The 49ers will be meeting the Chiefs. The 49ers will be meeting the Eagles and the Bengals will be meeting the Chiefs. So, getting down to the finalness of finality. Let's get into some news. Unfortunately, of course, there was another mass shooting in Monterey Park in California. A dozen people were, let's be clear. There was another one. There was one in Baton Rouge too, at the Monterey Park. And then they had a dozen people wounded in an early morning shooting in Louisiana in Baton Rouge. But then Monterey Park, they had a shooting out there. There was an Asian shooting. He was a 72-year-old man that, killed 10 people at the Lunar New Year. It was at a dance hall. It was pretty sad. Unfortunately, I don't know if we'll ever see an end to these shootings, unfortunately. Let's see what else is going on. That's kind of like took over most of the headlines this week. Let's see what else we have. It's always not fun when we have to start off another podcast with a mass shooting. See what else we want to talk about. If there's anything, I definitely have a lot of stories for you guys today. But other than that, Beyonce had a surprise performance in Dubai. She was paid $35 million to sing some of her oldest and greatest hits. I knew that had to be a high price tag to get Beyonce to come out, and she was kind of walking with a limp because she had foot surgery. So yeah, Beyonce came out for $35 million. Like I said, I knew it wasn't going to be cheap. To do that. There is a new drug-resistant strain of gonorrhea. So, I know I tell you guys all the time to wrap it up. Keep wrapping it up. Double wrap it. Become celibate. Whatever you need, man. You do not want incurable gonorrhea. Let's see what else. Kind of actually, so Alec Baldwin was getting charged, but now they're saying he's not going to get charged, which is more than likely not going to happen, meaning not going to get charged. But yeah, it was, other than that, shockingly, I mean, I can go, let me look at one more source. I hate too much doom and gloom news, but see if we want to talk about anything else. No, I think we'll hop into the stories because it's kind of like repetitive stuff. So let's just, I mean, especially with us starting off already with a mass shooting, let's get into how Smokey Robinson says he had an affair with Diana Ross. This man, is this how long it takes people to spill the beans on their illicit affairs and when they're senior citizens? Let's get into it.
Smokey Robinson felt the need to tell Vlad TV, which, by the way, I don't know why everyone tells their business to Vlad TV. That's something that needs to be studied. But he told Vlad TV that when he first got married, he had an affair with Diana Ross. Two things to note here. Smokey got married in 1959. This is like some 60-year-old tea. Secondly, Miss Diana is alive and well. Like, I understand revealing these things when someone has passed away. I was like, F it, they're not here, so let me tell you what happened. Kind of like how Quincy Jones did, which, God bless Quincy Jones for all that he gave us. But she's still alive and well. She's still trying to raise those grandkids. Smokey, why? Why?
In that wine, doing it fine, gang banging. Smokey has this song called Gang Banging. If you've never heard it, it is like the most hilarious song. But I want to see if Diana's gonna confirm this, because I don't know Smokey. Diana was a babe back in the day. I mean, Smokey is not a bad looking man, but I don't know if Diana was giving it to old Smokey back in the 50s, early 60s.
This woman stole my manhood. I'm ashamed to say it.
He never was a man, Your Honor. If a man don't take care of his kids.
Hold up. No.
Wait a minute.
No.
You're trying to hold up her?
I'm telling her to hold up.
Oh, all right.
I mean, this started from...
Hold on, but wait a minute. I have to hear this. No, Mrs. Allen, I have to hear this. You stole his manhood? Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm not ashamed to say it.
Please
Yes, ma'am.
explain that to me.
I mean, it all started from the marriage, from the day we came home with the limo. I got out the limo, and one of her cousins ran up to me and she hugged me. My wife was like, "Hey, it's my wedding day. Why you hugging on her?" And all that. I mean, from day one, even in church, she played the piano in church, and I was an usher. I would open the doors and let people in the church, and she would just stand up there at the piano and just stare at me.
Stand at the piano? I thought you sit at the piano.
Well, sit at the piano. Well, she stand at the keyboard. I mean, she stand up to the keyboard. And then after church, she would say, I know why you like to usher, so you can watch the women's butts as they walk in the church and stuff like that.
Oh, my goodness. Do you really think that your husband is that type of man that he would usher to do that?
I was very insecure because my husband was never home to provide when he needed to provide. He had a gambling problem. I'll be home taking care. Thank you. I'll be home taking care of our 4 kids. I'll be home, church, and work. In the process, I go to my house after work, build this house that we're supposed to be building.
You're building the house?
Yes, I am.
You mean you're literally doing the hammering and the nailing?
We was doing it together.
He was never
I worked 2 jobs.
I'm talking.
And go to school.
I'm talking.
I work a 6 at night to 6 in the morning job. And I work a 6 in the morning job till 7 at night.
So how did he have all this time for
So how did you have this time for all these different women?
I didn't have time
He
for
would
this.
make
She
time.
made statements to me. She said, I would say, well, look, I go, me and the fellas, we go to the casino and we gamble a little bit and watch football. You know, I asked her, can I go? She say, I say, I need.
Asked her, can you go?
Because she told me, she made a statement. She say, you can't go nowhere. You gonna stay home. Then when I say, well, look, I need time to myself. She say, you don't need no time to yourself. You married. You don't need time to yourself.
That's what your wife told you.
Yes, and then when I would go on my own, she would make a statement say, you being disobedient.
Disobedient?
She would tell me that I'm being disobedient to her.
No, ma'am. He was disrespectful.
Did you say disobedient?
She would tell me, she told me, she made the statement that I am being disobedient to her because I wouldn't stay at home. I just said I need time to myself. I work 2 jobs. I help do everything. I help with the kids.
Now, if your wife was leaving the house, and you had said to her,
that she couldn't go somewhere.
I never told her she couldn't do anything because she ran everything.
What's wrong with the 4 kids?
We didn't even have all the 4 kids then. Not that time.
Joe, who's talking?
I'm not sure who that was yet.
I heard a voice other than Mr. and Mrs. Allen.
Sorry.
Good old divorce court.
Joe Biden has just made it mandatory that all American cars have to have a kill switch in them by 2026. So there is actually now a governmental war on freedom of movement.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down!
Well, what do y'all think about that? I know I won't be getting one, if that's true.
News. A woman shot her terminally ill husband, is what police are saying now, and then refused to come out of the hospital room today in Daytona Beach. News 6's Emily McLeod is now live in Daytona Beach. And Emily, officials say the couple had this planned. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right, Eric. Daytona Beach Police Chief Jakari Young says the couple had planned this about 3 weeks ago. He says the couple said that if the husband continued to take a turn for the worse, that he wanted his wife to end it. Now, police have identified the victim in this tragic situation as 77-year-old Jerry Gillen. They say it appears he was shot in the head by his wife, 76-year-old Ellen Gillen. Young says they got the call at around 11:35 this morning and responded to the 11th floor of Advent Health Medical Center here in Daytona Beach in reference to a person being shot. Young says the victim's wife wouldn't put the gun down, so the SWAT team used what's called a flashbang to distract her and take her into custody. Crisis negotiators were also on scene. Negotiators say the negotiations began at around 12:30 and did not end until 3 o'clock. Police have also learned this was supposed to be a murder-suicide, but say Gillen couldn't go through with it.
So she killed him, and then she was going to turn the gun on herself, but decided she couldn't go through with it. So we were able to establish a dialogue with her. We used the distractionary device to get her to put that gun down long enough for us to hit her with less lethal and get her into custody.
Police say they did have to evacuate rooms on the 11th floor, which was difficult because a lot of patients on that floor are terminally ill and are hooked up to ventilators. Now, police say Advent Health is working to get back to normal operations and say Gillen could be facing a first-degree murder charge. Of course, we'll continue to follow this story and...
Well, I don't think she should get a first-degree murder, obviously. That is a hard situation to be in. I could not imagine. I can imagine for all the people that are on that floor going through that. Gosh. I'm just trying to understand how she got that weapon in there. Because, I mean, they don't have metal detectors in the hospitals no more. I'm not for sure. But this is sad all around.
They beat him up and broke his neck, and the body cam footage is so bad that local businesses in Memphis are buying hazard insurance.
This morning, fallout at the Memphis Police Department. 5 officers fired, involved in a traffic stop that turned deadly. 29-year-old Tyree Nichols suffering critical injuries, dying 3 days later. The stop for alleged reckless driving. Police saying he ran off after a confrontation with officers. Then another confrontation occurred when they detained him. His family saying police beat him so severely he was unrecognizable.
I cannot imagine how bad this video footage is, where everybody is panicking on releasing it next week. I genuinely do not understand. Also, as a non-black person, I have fucking questions, but you know what? I will save them and let other people ask them for me because I'm just lost.
An internal police investigation concluding the officers violated department policies, including excessive use of force, duty to intervene, and duty to render aid.
I'll give you a synopsis on the report. So, cops 1, 2, and 3 beat this man within an inch of his life. Cops 4 and 5 actually joined in instead of stopping cop 1 and 2. And then all 5 cops snapped his neck, and then they didn't call the ambulance. They didn't bother to help him out. That's what's in the report. And seriously, as a biracial person, I have fucking questions. Nichols was just a happy skater. You snapped his neck in 3 places.
So yeah, the footage for that is supposed to be released this week. So you know, as they said, they are preparing already for something to go down in Memphis. So pray for the city of Memphis, pray for his, you know, that man's family, and yeah, hopefully these guys get charged with the crime that they committed.
As soon as Diamond hung up the phone, she said to me, "I can't breathe." It was suddenly, out of nowhere, and no warning. I got her to the kitchen table, opened up the back door so that she can get some air. And each breath was less and less and less until her eyes became a stare. My husband and I followed the 911 instructions from the lady. We laid her, like they told us to lay her flat. They said do CPR, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My husband and I alternated and kept going and going and going until the emergency truck came into the yard, and the EMS came into the house. They did everything that they could. So what I want to say to everybody is, don't you dare call me a conspiracy theorist. Because I saw it happen. I saw how it happened. I was there when it happened. And it happened suddenly. I want America to wake up and pay attention. Something ain't right. It's time to investigate what's really going on here and get some answers to why are people falling dead suddenly.
So that was Silk of the Diamond and Silk, and if you don't know them, those are the two black big pro-Trump supporters. And this is, as you know, Diamond died like a week ago, and Silk is speaking of this at her celebration of life. I've never heard somebody tell how somebody died at a celebration of life. Everybody is sticking to this dying suddenly due to the vaccine situation. I know a lot of people feel some type of way about this. Don't, if I have a celebration of life, don't speak of how you tried to revive me and my eyes was like, I feel like this is very distasteful. I don't understand why somebody would do this at a celebration of life. Like, I can see if you could at least let the lady get in the ground, like maybe a month, maybe, but they just gonna go to the end trying to get, I just don't get it. But that's just me. I never seen this before, but yeah, man, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's go over this real fast so that there's one video where you get everything and it's only a minute long. Most heart attacks from...
Hey there, my name's Mike. Mike! Shit, that's probably backwards to you. But I'm a radiographer in a cardiovascular lab. I spend my days covered in other people's blood to make them better, to save their lives. Anyway, I just wanted to add, heart disease is #1 killer for women. For women. Why? Because a woman can put up with a lot more pain than a man. We take care of men, big buff men, covered in tattoos, scared of a needle. And they are crying tears. I just wanted to add that heart disease is #1 killer in women, and it's presented in some women as teeth pain. A woman can think she's had a wisdom tooth bothering her for 3 days. 3 days! Before we find out, no, she's having a heart attack. So I just wanted to add, heart disease, very painful and horrible for women.
Ladies, we taking care of these men's. We got to take care of ourselves. And I said men's on purpose. Please, put yourself first. I'm just telling you, please.
Be careful when you meet these people on these dating apps, man. This school teacher of the year, she met this guy on a dating app, and 1 week later, he killed her, man, in her own backyard. See, the thing about a dating app, a person can be exactly what you want them to be because you tell them what you're looking for. Be careful out there, y'all.
Yeah, I gotta do this dating stuff like the feds. Like, for real, you have to be so discreet. I know that like these days, give people just your Snapchat. I wouldn't even give people my phone number, and with Snapchat, at least the videos disappear. I wouldn't be so discreet until you know you could really trust these people. Like, please proceed with caution.
Don't say my name because I don't want to tear my family apart just yet, okay? It says my uncle died, and I was in charge of cleaning out his apartment because my mom and dad, they live out of town. When they came in town for the funeral, he was saying they don't have time to clean out his uncle's apartment. So he says, I found some old DVDs while cleaning out his apartment. He said, I took them home to get a good laugh. He said they were porn DVDs that he takes home. He said, I took them home because I thought my girlfriend and I could get a good laugh. He says, well, it's a big mistake. Number one, they were tapes of him. And he said that was totally gross to see a younger version of my uncle banging out chicks. But then he says, number two, he realized that one of the chicks was his mom. Yes, okay? Well, he says, yes, my mom and uncle at one point had sex, right? And he says they taped it, and he's like, wow. He goes on to say, I'm not sure if this was before my dad came along, but since they were brothers, my dad had to be around somewhere. He says, I know this was in the 90s because on the TV in the background, it had Arsenio Hall show on. So he says, Didi, I'm disgusted. Should I confront my mom and say I've seen this sex tape? Do I ask my dad about it and tell him, or does he take it to the grave?
Man, why did you watch that whole tape? That's my question. If you wouldn't have been so pervy and watched the whole tape, you wouldn't even have these problems. Like, as soon as you realized it was your uncle having sex, like, I'd be like, ugh, I wouldn't even want to see this. But he literally watched the tape. That's my question for you. Number two, no, you can't tell your mom or your dad. Take it to the grave, man. You've already told the world, though. This is wild. Because if you tell your mama this or your daddy this, it's going to be smoke in the city. And then you're going to be the reason the whole family is feuding. Like, no. But why did you watch the tape? That's the bone I got to pick with you, man. No. If I happen to cross some pictures or photos, videos of somebody, especially my parent, uncle, auntie, cousin, I'm not watching that. I don't want to see it. Yuck.
John Ketanji Brown Jackson, our Supreme Court Justice.
I just had to put that in there because Biden trying to pronounce the name of Ketanji Brown Jackson, the new Supreme Court, was hilarious. And I just, why not a little chuckle?
Yeah, I've seen him say your music is demonic and this was a satanic ritual. You think your music is to blame?
I mean, no. I'm a man of God. So
Travis Scott said he's a man of God. At Travis's show, Astroworld, he had a shirt on. On that shirt, he had blue people going into a door, which was a portal, coming out of that door, becoming little red demons. Coincidence? I don't know. Travis always has a big face at his shows with the mouth open wide, where people can go in and come out. Well, on the bottom picture here, you have a painting of hell. Coincidence? I don't know. Travis had a physical portal at his show, Astroworld. And on it said, see ya on the other side. Sadly, 10 people lost their lives at this same show. Coincidence? I don't know. The performance setup for this show was a portal and an inverted cross coming out of it. Coincidence? I don't know. The flyer for this show were eyes with hands on it with a pyramid, and the pyramid's going into a portal. Coincidence? I don't know. Were there dark spirits jumping around the crowd at this show? Well, you look with your own eyes and you tell me. Now, in case you didn't see it, let's show it one more time. Look right here. Arms, that's a figure. A dark spirit jumping into the crowd. Coincidence? I don't know. But I will tell you this though, as a true man of God, I do not believe in coincidences. I believe a true man of God will bring you closer to God. I believe a true man of God will feed you revelation to get closer to the Father. I believe a true man of God will feed you light. I believe a true man of God is out here collecting souls for the kingdom of God. I believe a true man of God will uplift you spiritually. I believe a true man of God does not want you to glorify him, but wants you to glorify God. So is Travis Scott a true man of God? I don't know. You tell me.
He might be serving some other God. I mean, even if you don't believe in conspiracy theories, it was just too much. I mean, and you can Google the little shadowy figures hopping around, the demonic flyers. It's scary. So even if you don't believe in this stuff, it's kind of just too it was just too much. The portal, it's creepy. It's creepy. It's giving creepy. I can tell you now, if somebody would have gave me that flyer, I would say no. I'm not going to that. I already, first of all, it's still COVID going around. I mean, you heard Silk. You don't want Silk to give your eulogy how you died suddenly because you went to a Travis Scott concert and got COVID, and that'll be even more conspiracy for these people. But just that alone, but that flyer, creepy. So yeah, it's too coincidental. It's too scary. The symbolism and all this stuff is too creepy and too scary for me. See, this is why I just be staying at home and talking to y'all. You know what I mean? So this is that for tonight. You know I'll be back tomorrow with some mess. F is for Family is signing out. You guys have an amazing, wonderful week. Stay prayed up and covered. Protect yourself from these demonic spirits out here. I cancel every assignment the enemy has, every plot, plan, and strategy, and anything that you guys are asking God for. I pray that he will deliver that to you. And I also pray that you guys will turn to him so that he can do those things. F is for Family is signing off. You guys be safe and great.